kingdom, he summoned these slaves to whom he had given the money. He wanted to know how much they had earned by trading. So the first one came before him and said, "Sir, your mina has earned 10 minas more." Bum, bum, bum. And the king said to him, "Well done, good slave, because you have been faithful in a very small matter. You will have authority over 10 cities." The second one came and said, "Sir, your mina has made 5 minas." So the king said to him, "And you are to be over 5 cities." Then another slave came and said, "Sir, here is your mina that I put away for safekeeping in a piece of cloth. For I was afraid of you because you are a severe man. You withdraw what you did not deposit, and you reap what you did not sow." The king said to him, "I will judge you by your own words, you wicked slave. You knew, did you, that I was a severe man, withdrawing what I didn't deposit and reaping what I didn't sow? Why then didn't you put my money in the bank, so that when I return I could have collected it with interest?" And he said to his attendants, "Take the mina from him and give it to the one who has 10. But they said to him, "Sir, he has 10 minas already." "I tell you that everyone who has will be given more, but the one who does not have, even what he has will be taken away. But as for these enemies of mine who did not want me to be their king, bring them here and slaughter them in front of me." So we've got servants and we've got those that are supposed to be in the kingdom. So we got some mixture of things going on there. But in any case, you've got faithful servants and you've got citizens of the kingdom that don't want him to be their king. After Jesus had said this, he continued on ahead, going up to Jerusalem. Now when he approached Bethphage and Bethany, at a place called the Mount of Olives, he sent 2 of his disciples, telling them, "Go to the village ahead of you. When you enter it, you will find a colt tied there that has never been ridden. Untie it and bring it here. If, if anyone asks you, 'Why are you untying it?' just say, 'The Lord needs it.'" So those who were sent ahead found it exactly as he had told him. As they were untying the colt, its owners asked him, "Why are you untying it?" They replied, "The Lord needs it." Then they brought, I jumped on me. Okay, there we are. Then they brought it to Jesus, threw their cloaks on the colt, and had Jesus get on it. As he rode along, they spread their cloaks on the road. As he approached the road leading down from the Mount of Olives, the whole crowd of his disciples began to rejoice and praise God with a loud voice for all the mighty works they had seen. The Greek article has been translated here as a possessive noun. The whole crowd of his disciples, of the disciples. Okay. Blessed is the King who comes in the name of the Lord. Luke adds the title king in the citation of Psalm 118 to make clear who was meant. The psalm was used in looking for deliverance of the end, thus leading to the Pharisees' reaction. peace in heaven and glory in the highest. But some of the Pharisees in the crowd said to him, Teacher, rebuke your disciples. He answered, I tell you, if if they keep silent, the very stones will cry out. Okay, so we've got a psalm that they're waiting for the Messiah. They're now declaring this, that he is the Messiah. And the Pharisees are like, you need to stop this. You need to stop this. Why do they need to stop it? They don't believe he is. And also, this is going to cause problems. This is going to cause a potential for Rome to crack down. They know it. They don't want it. So they're trying to stop it. Now, when Jesus approached and saw the city, he wept over it, saying, if you had only known on this day, even you, the things that make for peace. But now they're hidden from your eyes. For the days will come upon you when your enemies will build an embankment against you and surround you and close in on every side. They will demolish you and your children within your walls, and they will not leave within you one stone on top of another, because you did not recognize the time of your visitation from God. Yes. Plus the old green eye monster, jealousy, envy. Absolutely. I know if you hang around here often, you probably hear me say this often, but it just, I just, in case you haven't, want to make sure you see this. Jesus says, and they will not leave within you one stone on top of another. Does that mean that this wasn't fulfilled? Because if you go there today in Jerusalem, the Wailing Wall still has stones that are on top of other stones? No. The point of this is Jesus is describing total destruction. There won't be a rebuild. It won't be, we got some damage, and the bones were still good. We just got to repair some roof damage, and we're good to go. No. It's total destruction. The temple will be destroyed. That's the image here. That's what happens, and so it's fulfilled. So it's not unfulfilled, and a lot of people say, well, of course it's not unfulfilled. They destroyed the temple. Yeah, but this is how a lot of people treat things in Scripture. Well, it didn't happen precisely as it said, so it can't be a fulfillment. You're missing the point. Things that are fulfilled are not a checklist. Things that are fulfilled are things in line with the message that was given. They are descriptive of. They point to. So there's all of that aspect of it, and they can have multiple fulfillments, not just a single one. So then Jesus entered the temple courts and began to drive out those who were selling there, saying to them, it is written, my house will be a house of prayer, but you have turned it into a den of robbers. Okay. We have the merchants, those who were selling things there, would have been located in the court of the Gentiles. So they're in the court of the Gentiles is where they are at. Matthew and Mark and Luke here record the incident of the temple cleansing at the end of Jesus' ministry. John records a cleansing of the temple at the beginning of Jesus' ministry. See the note in the word temple courts in John 2 for a discussion on the relationship between these two accounts. I had a friend of mine in seminary that was studying and going to write a paper on believing that there were two cleansings, not just John restructuring the story. I thought, that makes some sense. But as I've studied John more, John rearranges a lot of stuff. So I don't know if we have to think here's the other thing. Don't try to reconcile differences between one gospel and the other gospel. And don't just diminish it either and say, it's just like two eyewitnesses telling things. No, there are some things that are different in there. The problem is Why are they being told? And do you have to picture them literally happening? When you have to make them literally happen, as opposed to them being part of the story that helps us to learn what Jesus was doing and how he was doing it, we can understand those differently. So here he is driving out the robbers and saying it should be a house of prayer. Why? Because he is moved by compassion for the city, wishing they would turn, and here the exploitation of the people is on full display, and he can't handle it anymore. Yeah. Again, what would Jesus do? I know. There's also some that say this could not have happened because they would have attacked Jesus on the spot if he was raising a ruckus in this way. That may or may not be true, but if the crowd is on Jesus' side and then arresting them is going to cause a revolt, okay, then maybe that makes a lot of sense. The other thing is he entered the temple courts and began to drive out those who were selling things there. So, began to drive. Maybe he didn't fully do it. He's doing the gesture of it. He starts to do that. He starts to address the problem. Maybe he doesn't actually get to the standpoint of every single person selling stuff has been kicked out. It's all in how you read it. One reason that's a good set of emotes there. And Shadow Tuner, hey, welcome in. Glad to have you here. Invite yourself over to someone's house and kick thieves out. Kick thieves out of yours, yes. Well, this might be a good thing to kind of go back through if you participate in a ministry or a church and go, who are the ones who are interfering with the work that we should be doing and getting in the way, and maybe we need to correct them, and maybe we need to remove them. Just saying. Wow, that was a loud car going by. Okay, bum. Maybe that's when they stopped him? Yeah. Also, some of the officials are going to be in the inner part of the court, not in the court of the Gentiles. So they may not have had as big a concern. Also, turning over their tables, addressing them, creating a show is going to draw the crowd. I mean, if you've ever had a crowd around you, you do think twice about how do you respond to that. So they don't want to cause a riot, might be part of the reason why they don't react. Jesus is teaching daily in the temple courts. The chief priests and the experts in the law and the prominent leaders among the people were seeking to assassinate him. But they could not find a way to do it, for all the people hung on his word. So this could also explain why the people are hanging on his words. They are outraged by what he just did. They want to assassinate him now because of what he did. You are disrupting the money-making scheme of the temple. So we do want to attack you. We do want to cause problems. We do, but we can't do it because the people are here. So the fact they don't act isn't because they don't want to. Now, one day, as Jesus was teaching the people in the temple courts and proclaiming the gospel, the chief priests and the experts in the law and the elders came up and said to him, experts in the law wanting to do the unlawful. Well, the experts in the law, let's just think of experts in the law in today's day and age. Lawyers. Experts in the law are going to know all the loopholes in the law. So they're going to try to exploit all the loopholes. So absolutely, experts in the law are trying to get around the law. I don't say that to pick on any lawyers. I have relatives that work in the area. So just saying the reputation of them would be in line with that even today. Lawyers, judges, politicians. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Probably a lot more so on the politicians. tune. So one day, Jesus was